Coming to you from Phoenix, Arizona, home of Super Bowl 57, it's the Geary, Stein, and Stevens Show with your hosts, Troy Geary, Will Stein, and Dave Stevens.
Good morning, everybody. It is a wonderful Friday. Why? Because it's our last day on Radio Row. It's the light at the end of the tunnel, all the build up to the big game. And here we are kicking off our Friday morning coverage with a friend of mine that has been a part of my life for the last 11, 12 years. We started in Washington, D.C. in a small little game, and his life has exploded since then. I'm going to bring in B.J. Ganem. He's the CEO and founder of Sierra Delta. BJ, hey, thanks for taking some time. I know you're busy, brother.
Oh man, anytime for you, man. I'm looking forward to the game tomorrow. We got the clinic tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
Can't wait for that. Can't wait to see those kids and all the joy that you bring. That's why it's so much fun to work with you. You know, so many intersections in what we do with veterans, whether they're physical or mental challenges. I would say I don't even want to say disabilities. You know what I mean? Like, how disabled are we? Right? We get around. We do things. We're here at Super Bowl Radio Row. No disability around here. However, there are some challenges, right? And it's so fun to work with you as we find ways to bring wellness and bring that camaraderie, that esprit de corps, and overcoming these challenges and finding new ways to live that epic life and live that life on the good foot, like I like to say.
And it's been a great week, not only here at the Super Bowl, but for Sierra Delta. Again, pairing with, I guess it's Walmart,
Yeah,
Walmart and Blue
Walmart.
Buffalo. And check this out. We've got the new ads that are out, with the At Ease. And talk a little bit about this
It's a
program.
great program. So, Blue Buffalo and the Bishop family have been with Sierra Delta from the moment we were founded. It was Mr. Bishop and President Bush and Tom McCann that pushed me to even start Sierra Delta and find a solve for all these dogs. So Blue's been a fantastic partner. This is our third time in Walmart. We call it the At Ease program, helping really showcasing that not only does Sierra Delta provide access to service dogs for military veterans, but we also help with our just regular training in the dogs. Like, so many dogs can bring you so much wellness. You can set up a healthy routine with them. And that's what Blue Buffalo is about too, right? Feeding your dog healthy food so that they can be with you on this journey of life, right? That's what we call it, the Life Buddy program. And that's the dogs that meet these individual veterans' needs and lifestyle. And it allows them to have empowerment in figuring out how they want this dog to interact with them. So in the military, we would always like to, when we're patrolling and we're doing infantry tactics, we talk about shoot, move, and communicate, right? Kind of like sports, right? You always got to be moving and communicating. In the Life Buddy program, we're really trying to help recenter veterans in a healthy way. It's open to, you don't have to be disabled. You don't have to be, of financial need. This is a wellness program where we're really just focusing on good medicine, right? They say laughter is the best form of medicine. I think dogs are right up there too, right? Dogs bring us so much. I know you have a lizard, right? And, I don't think we can train. Maybe we could train lizards. Maybe we'll get a Lima Bravo, a lizard buddy program here in the future, and we'll have you be the lead on that.
Is that because there's so many snakes in the Navy?
Ooh, I think he's being.
Yeah.
I love the Navy brethren. Our corpsmen are always Navy. I was in the Marine Corps. But yeah, I can't thank Blue Buffalo enough and Walmart for every time you buy a bag of Blue Buffalo dog food at Walmart, $1 is going to come to Sierra Delta to help us pay for training, help us pay for these resources for these men and women that serve the country. And that's all of them. You don't have to be combat wounded. You don't have to have served post 9/11. Man, this is a true thank you for your service. We help with training grants. We help with the resources and the information so that we can have fun with our dogs and, get better and live this American life, right? That we sacrifice so much to defend. Like, let's live it to the max. I mean, sometimes I get sad it's been fun here. Like, there's no bad news here, right? I mean, I know there's bad news happening, but everybody we're engaging with is having fun. And that's all we're trying to do is bring a little bright smiles to the world.
And you talk about, the sacrifices that you made, that your countrymen made the ultimate sacrifices. But take us back to that moment when you're in that hospital bed to now. I mean,
Yeah.
Has it been surreal this trip to go from almost the lowest point in your life to now where you are impacting lives, soon to be worldwide?
It is. Laying there, I wasn't sure. Like when you're preparing for war. I mean, so I served, went into the Marine Corps in 1996 and was deployed in 2004 when I was hurt in Iraq due to an IED. Right, and you never plan. I mean, you plan for the worst to happen. You get your will in order and you get all your last wishes, but you don't really think about the middle part, right? You just think either we'll go over there, worst will happen, or we'll come back. We'll have to go back until it's over. So in the beginning, I was angry. I mean, all the typical things. Like, I mean, if you're in a low spot and you're feeling all these feelings, man, you're not alone. We felt them, and there's ways out. Find that community is what I would say right now. But that's where I was at, and at the lowest point, when I was actually considering checking out, told the story many times, I could rationalize everybody else away. All my family would be better off, friends would be better off, my kids would be better off. But I had this old English bulldog that I bought off Craigslist in my first convalescent leave from Walter Reed. I'm a boy from Savannah, Georgia, so a huge Bulldogs fan growing up. Served in the Marine Corps, so the bulldog is the mascot. So I got this puppy. He was all head and wrinkles, sleep on my neck, and he was just the best. He had no special training, no special breeding, but in that desperate moment, he was the one thing I couldn't rationalize away, because if I wasn't there, because he's a big, gruff, mean-looking, untrained, untalented bulldog, he'd end up in the shelter and be killed. And that was enough purpose in my life to look myself in the mirror and say, no, this is no longer an option. No matter what life throws at you, you're gonna take it on the good foot, right? No matter if it's my foot that is the carbon fiber and steel, or if it's the flesh and blood foot that I was born with, I was going to take on what the world throws at me on that good foot, right? And so that's the impetus of why Sierra Delta exists, and why when we first started out, we focused on medical assistance service dogs only. But as I was going through cancer, remember in 2018, I got diagnosed with stage 2 lymphoma. And during chemo and radiation, I was locked away, quarantine before quarantine. And I had the idea of, like, why are we only focusing on these type of dogs when dogs can bring so much healing? And I've worked with over 20,000 vets, and the most common story I hear is how a dog impacted their life, or how a dog made their life better. And heck, 62% of American households have a dog in it. You know what I mean? So this isn't new science. This isn't something that we'd argue about. It's one thing I think that as America, we can all still agree we love dogs, and lizards, I guess, But we mostly love dogs. And that's what the Life Buddy is about. It's about providing reasonable and sustainable support of empowerment, purpose, innovation, and community. It spells epic. So we're trying to help not only our veterans live an epic life, we want the people that support us to join us and get access to the same resources that we're providing the veterans. The only thing our supporting members can't get is the training grants, but they can see how it's impacting the veterans. They can be a part of it, and all we're asking is for a minimum pledge, of $17.76 a month, or a flat rate of $200 a year, and all that money goes straight into our training grant bucket to keep the money there, so that as veterans come in and say, hey, I have this dog already, I'm looking for training, we can pay for training grants. If they're like, I'm about to adopt a dog and I want to have some training to do X, Y, and Z, we have those training grants ready. And then if they need a medical assistance service dog, we take a little longer with that, because there's more hoops we got to jump through, because those are the dogs that have to accompany that veteran everywhere they go, right? Like Stephanie Marvin Miller, who you met before, and Lee Otto, that you see as a good ambassador. Their dogs go absolutely everywhere with them, because they need that level of care, and that's important. But the other 99% of us, like me, it's we don't need that level of care, but having that dog in our life, that life buddy, that when I'm stressed out, me and Loki just go for a walk, right? Go throw the ball. I mean, I don't know, it's like playing with a lizard, but hopefully that brings you the same amount of joy. I see you smile really big every time he's on your shoulders. So,
He does, and he likes to hump around, and I follow him on the ground. We're both just a couple of slow ass lizards, but I feel like 12 years ago you adopted me almost as your little buddy dog, and
there you go.
But for you, the amount of good that you do, I wonder how surreal it is. And BJ's been on Letterman. He's friends with President George Bush. He just was on Drew Barrymore, and she made a donation. And all these amazing things in life. Is there one that just sticks out that you realize I am making a difference?
To tell you the truth, if I'm being completely honest, I don't even think about the difference I'm making in the other people's lives because of how much it impacts me personally. Like, I can't tell you how much I love this life I live on the good foot. And I constantly say I'm the luckiest man I know. And I enjoy it so much that I just assume everybody else is enjoying it as well. I don't see it as them getting better. I just see them as recognizing that we're having a good time and that we can have these good times anytime we want. Like, that's the main impetus behind the Life Buddy program, is that you don't need the government's permission to get wellness from a dog, right? You don't need an ADA, Americans Disabilities Act, for a dog to improve your life. And for you to openly say, this dog helps me in my life. That's all we're doing. And hey, anybody can do it. Look, I've watched you for 12 years literally claw your way, since you can't kick your way up the ladder, claw your way up this media ladder, man. But you're doing it, right? Nobody give it to you. Nobody handed it to you. And it's hard, man. This is hard. Even Sierra Delta with all these great partnerships and all this great stuff, man, it's hard. It's hard to keep it going. You got to keep doing it. So if you don't enjoy it, I see the joy that you get in doing this. You got these kids with you I can never say the college names. Thank you. Quinnipiac, right?
Quinnipiac University, yeah.
Right? And what you're doing to help show, you feel it. You get the joy. Like, you're not taking stock. You're not taking inventory of, like, I've helped this many people, right? There was a great story that one of the great sports announcers, and I'm drawing a blank on his name, he used to do the golf all the time. He does a great impression of George W. Bush, which I can't remember his name, which is a total blunder. But anyways, he told a story about Arnold Palmer and an ambassador from Jim Nance. Yes, thank you. Jim Nance told the story that he was eating dinner with Arnold Palmer. They were at an event together, and somebody at the table asked Arnold Palmer, like, how many people do you think you played golf with? And Arnold Palmer couldn't really talk to him, but he said, the guy was like just trying to take a guess. And he's like, what do you think? Like 1,000? And Arnold Palmer just kept telling him to go up, up, up. And he got him all the way up to 1,000,000. And Jim Nance was like, that can't be right. But then he remembered what Arnold told him about how he approaches the game when he's playing with people. He just enjoys playing the game with them. And so he feels like he plays with everybody in that round, not just the person he's playing against. And it's a grateful way to live, right? And I've kind of rambled on, but at the end of the day, what I wanted to say is just, I'm grateful, like, for all this, and that it's been a hell of a ride, like you said. And I think there's more to come for both of us. And what's going to help is people just actually doing something, right? They want to help, like the Dave Stevens show, and share it on your social platforms, like Sierra Delta for us, share it. That helps us more than anything, and we can keep this thing going all the way around.
BJ Ganem joining us on Radio Row. Again, you can go to sierradelta.com and check out that hat, check out the site, make a donation. Again, $200. You'll spend that, going out to dinner these days, just buying eggs.
Right.
So, thanks,
yeah, we'll have a
BJ,
store coming too where you can buy the hats, and we'll get it going. We got some partnerships coming up with you too, right, this year. So
it's going to be fun. Golf tournament coming up
Golf
too.
tournament coming up in Stanwich, May 4th. Billy Dawson album is about to release. The artwork is just getting done.
Song you guys co-wrote?
It's a whole album. It's 11 songs. I co-wrote a couple of the songs on there. A bunch of other veterans did as well, and it's an album told from the veteran experience called Warrior Life. And some of the biggest names in the industry helped mix, performed on it, helped write. I wrote with Mr. Barker. He wrote the majority of George Strait's #1 hit. So it was just, talk about a surreal moment. Like, you're sitting down and learning a craft from a gentleman that has had so much success, right? And it's just amazing. So a bunch of different ways to help. And again, I keep droning on. Dave, what is going on?
That's all right. We'll let you go. I know you're doing an interview here with Carly in a second. So thanks again, brother, for being a part
Appreciate
of
you, man.
such an amazing event. And next year in Las Vegas, bigger and better as we re-resurrect Vets Bowl.
It'll be
Will still
Veterans
be
Bowl
Veterans Bowl
one,
1.
yeah. And so
Okay.
that's we're going to honor both sides of the ball this time, right? To really talk about the head injuries, but it's going to be the first time in Las Vegas and the first time that Veterans Bowl.
All right,
will
and
be
you
there.
can bet I'll be there.
Yes,
Get
you
it?
will. Yeah.
All right, BJ Ganem joining us for a little bit here. Thanks again, BJ, for joining us. And of course, thank you to our sponsor, Fresh Clean Threads. Of course, we've got a great exclusive offer only this week. And if you're watching and you've been seeing, you go to freshcleantees.com/GSS show. You type in the show code touchdown, 25% off. You don't get 10%, you don't get 15%. This is the only show that's giving you a Super Bowl exclusive 25% off. The shirts look good, feel good. In fact, I'm so comfortable in it. I've been wearing them all week right here on Radio Row. In fact, I've got the nice blue one that accentuates my eyes. Check that out. Ooh, ooh. And of course, Jam Bar is another sponsor that's been a part of us, and we've got them here. This is a fully organic, artesian energy bar, and they're really, really good. So thank you for Jam Bar for your support. And don't forget, we got the Dave Stevens, Luis and Dejas Pro Stance Ability Camp coming up on Saturday. That's tomorrow, man. It's been a long week. And that's at Camelback High School. You can check that out. There's still openings for kids, campers, volunteers, and if you'd like to donate, just click on those QR codes. We hope to see you out there. It's free. Our events are free. We don't charge, and I want to make sure that you guys realize that going forward for baseball, football, for all abilities, the Pro Stance Ability Camp. Well, that's going to wrap it up. We got Nate Boyer coming up in just a couple of minutes, and once he gets in here, another superhero as we start out our heroes and warriors today. I'm Dave Stevens on Radio Row, kicking off Friday. If you're wondering why I'm so happy and jovial, well, it's a lot of coffee, but it's the last day I have to be here. Woohoo! So we'll see you in a bit. Wrapping it up. I'm Dave Stevens.